Today's video is sponsored by Wicked Earth Charm and Necklace Company, where their jewelry is wicked awesome and charmingly earthy.
Or are you sponsoring them, huh?
Or are we sponsoring each other?
I don't know! It's hard to keep up!
It's amazing! Who cares? Hi everyone, welcome back. Well, I'm back with a little handmade bag that I made, along with a lot of gift bags that I've decorated. And I mentioned in the previous video that I would be coming back with wallpaper videos. So this little image right here, this is actually from a wallpaper border, which is really cute. It was cut out of what was kind of like a collage type border. And I think I have the little pieces right inside. So if you watched the previous video, you would remember this. They had a duck right there, and somewhere they would have had this picture, and also this, right down to a little old-fashioned car, which is really cute. So wow, I'll actually get a few projects. But this is a cute little bag. And this, I will actually share this little DIY with you. Well, I have had a ton of fun. I have made all kinds of little tags out of wallpaper, which this looks just like leather. Anybody would actually think that it was. So it's vinyl to look like leather. I've got little tiny mini tags, medium size. This size right here I would have used on the gift bags that I've decorated. And I am going to mention that they're diamond press cutting dies, because if anyone's questioning the diamond press products sold on HSN, they really are good. I questioned myself, but I took a chance just because I like tag cutting dies so much, and they're amazing. So I would recommend anyone to buy those. And I had fun cutting out little gingerbread with wallpaper, so that was fun. Even these little cutting dies I had, like little ticket dies. I thought those were really cute. And I went as far as to cut out tags using the Crafter's Companion large tag set. That's a nice set because it cuts real thick material, so I could get the chipboard in there as well. And this set, I'm actually going to take these apart because they're different color wallpaper, which looks like leather. So it's just endless what you can do with wallpaper. And the textured wallpaper is really what's amazing. I know I went after just plain textured wallpaper books, and wow, it really came in handy for the tags. You'll just see throughout when I show you these gift bags that most of them have the little tags on them that actually look like leather. Now this one I'm going to point out because I did glue that to cardstock, where I left like a little white shadow layer on the top. And this one, along with all of the others, I would have just, it's getting a little tangled on me, I would have just left everything loose, which is kind of fun. I think it offers kind of like a sophisticated look. And you can either write the person's name on that part where it would be hid from the front of the tag, or either right on the back. But it's just a cute little, it's extra. A lot of people just do the one tag, but it really looks nice to have two. And then I'll show you the length and how I make the little string. So I'll leave that one right there. I guess I'll just start showing the little gift bags. And you might want to really look as I go through these, because I'm going to list these and I'll add a number to each bag on my Instagram page. And I'm just going to hold like a little drawing right here on YouTube. And if you would like to win a dozen gift bags, all you have to do is leave a little comment on this video and just simply tell me why you would like to win. You know, maybe you have a large family and it would be nice gifts for Christmas. Or you have a lot of sons, a lot of grandsons. Maybe you're holding something for people this year where you could really use something like this, almost like donating or whatever. It's going to be easier on me than to actually draw, to actually read a comment, and the one that hits me, that will be the winner. So I'll just come back with a quick little video here on YouTube, and I'll announce the winner, and all you have to do is go to my Instagram page and message me and choose the dozen gift bags you'd like, and just send me a message with all of the little numbers, and I'll get them right out to you. I do ask that we keep this for the USA only. It's just going to be easier on me. All right, I'm going to see if I can actually lay these down, and I'll go through one at a time. This is just a very easy little gift bag, which is just the one layer of wallpaper and then your image from the border. Really cute. I didn't put a tag on this one because it was just so cute. I didn't want to hide the little image. And this is similar, which would be the wallpaper in the back, the border. I did take a little piece of wallpaper and run it sideways behind the image and just brought it down to the side of the bag on each side, and just added a little tag and a little handmade with love die cut just for something extra, which is cute. I tell you, these images are amazing. You're just not going to find these images in a craft shop. So if you can get your hands on these wallpaper books, it's so worth it. This was cute. Again, the images are just so cute. And the tags really do add to the gift bags. Now, this one right here, I just did like a little slanted type of trick just to add a little something. And if you're new to crafting, or maybe you just don't have the right dies to actually add to a gift bag, if you would just do little pieces of paper like this, it fills in and takes that plain look away. It's really cute. Now, a trick was used with this bag. It isn't actually matted to where it's two layers, but I just simply took a marker and traced it down each side. So that's just very, very easy. I did add, again, open the bag, I did add a little piece of paper sideways behind the image, and that really does dress it up a little bit. And then on this one, just one little piece was added. So I could have just kept making gift bags one after another. This one turned out cute, and I kind of held off on this image for a while until last, and I really liked it once I used it. So the black check, then the tan check, the little image, and I ran what looked like tweed in a couple different spots, just, you know, crossed it on the edges, and that looked cute. This was kind of just a little plain one, but I did cut a little piece of wallpaper from another image, and I ran it across the top and the bottom. So that added just a little bit. This is just a cute little image. And again, just I guess I did a piece of wallpaper and then a darker one, in the image. Now these would all sell at a craft fair, craft show. These would go quite quick. Another little dog one. And this is kind of just plain, just a little piece of wallpaper and going sideways with the border. Kind of like a narrow look, and it looks nice too. Little horses. Now this is another little trick that you can do if you don't have many tools on hand. Again, with just the little strips of the wallpaper, you can just make your own little frame. And that offers a nice little look. And again, I had mentioned this in a previous video. When your image is cut off on one side, just run a piece of paper down and your eye immediately goes off of that. If I hadn't done that, it would look like kind of like an unfinished look. So you just either run a piece of paper down, or if it was the edge of a greeting card, you would just actually slide that image all the way over to the very edge. So it just looks perfect. You wouldn't even look at that. You would just look at the image for what it is. So I know quite a few paper tricks. This I thought was a riot because it wasn't actually wallpaper. It was just the little sample picture that was added inside the book, and I took it and made a perfect bag. Really looks mannish looking. And this was just the little postage stamps. Plain but cute. This was a little primitive look. It's kind of never ending. You can just, I just did that little added piece to each corner, top and bottom. It's really all it needed. The images are so pretty, you don't need to over decorate these bags, which is nice if you are a beginner crafter. It's just effortless. Now this is cute if you know a golfer. Cute little design. And again, on a lot of these bags, these tags make the bag. It's like adding a bow on a package. Once you get that tag on, it just becomes finished. And this one was cute, which I would have done the paisley print. Let's see. The paisley print, and then just a little piece running sideways, and then the little image. I think on this one, I didn't really want to cover the front with the little people on it, so I put the tag on the back, which you can do. You don't have to add it on the front. And that was a cute little look. I just love these golf images. Just old-fashioned looking. So I'll be adding these, and I think I have just a few more here. Now these are just plain undecorated, kind of in a way. All it is a piece of wallpaper. But, I mean, wood, the faux wood is just so cute. So we have this one, that one, And people would buy these at craft shows. They might add their own photo to them, or maybe even little greeting card. Now these, really the pattern is so pretty. You can see why I just chose to leave them as is. And they're sophisticated too. And you could put jewelry or anything in these bags. Really, really cute. And believe it or not, some people would say at a craft show, I don't know how to do that. I couldn't make that. Well, when you think about it, what is there to make? It's one piece of wallpaper cut down and applied with a tag hanging. But before a lot of people would make this, they'd buy it. So it's not their interest. They're not into crafting. And you would be surprised. It's a lot of fun. I always had fun seeing what people would choose at a craft show. So this little bag, I will be back to actually show you how to make this. I do want to just go over this really quickly. Let me see, what this would be the back. You can really, before you go as far as to turning it into the bag with the little side creases and things, you can just make these and set them on a shelf in your craft room and just use them for storage. So you can use them for other uses as well. So you can see how this would just have the crease and then going across, but then how it actually turns into the bag and then gives like that little triangle shape. Okay, well I think that wraps it up. I will share at some point, probably after I do the bag tutorial, I'll show you how I made these ties. Then you can whip those up too. I'll be right back. Okay, well, I'm just going to take a second here to go over the paper size that I'm going to be using. A lot of people probably have in their craft room 12 by 18 inch cardstock, which this would be about 80 pounds, and it's Neenah cardstock. Well, this is actually Anna Griffin cardstock, and it's 12 by 24. So that's how I would have made this good size bag. And before I go any further, I forgot 3 bags, so I'm just going to quickly share those because they will be added on my Instagram page also. And I would have held off on these little images towards the end, and honestly, they came out adorable. So again, the little paper running sideways, and then right here on each side would have been a little Anna Griffin cutting die, I believe from the shaker set, the shaker cutting die set. And this little image was cute, and the little design that it turned out to be, it was kind of a plain look, and I decided to just add 2 little tags and the little brads to each side, and it really came out cute. So again, I was just using things that I had on hand that I had actually cut with the wallpaper. Kind of, if you don't have much and you force yourself to use what you have, you will think of things. Now, I personally don't need to do that because I'm really set up like a store. I don't want for crafting products. But it's fun when you kind of limit yourself. And this little one, the whole bag started off with problems. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing for the placement of the image, and the image got added to the gift bag too low. So to get the composition, the layout correct, I needed something up top. I ended up just cutting some little flowers out with Tim Holtz Big's die, which is the Tattered Florals. Not really my favorite over paper, but they'll do with the little flowers, which they are actually wallpaper. I just tried to stay with wallpaper. It didn't matter what wallpaper because I was using from only 3 books, and I didn't really want to go out of those books. Nothing was working, so I ended up just coming up with my own frame, which was from cardstock, and I inked it to where it would resemble wood. I distressed it so it doesn't just look like wood, but you can feel that it's textured, and then I decoupaged. So these are all little things that I'll be sharing because I know a lot of inking techniques. But in the little tag, didn't look right once the flowers were added. It didn't look right on either side of the handle, so I ended up just gluing it. And I like doing this anyway on greeting cards. I will glue tags down. I just like working with tags. So you can just lift up the top part, write the recipient's name, and then put it right down. And it still functions perfectly, and it still has the tag. So it's different. It is a different look, and then just 3 little brads just to give a little bit of style. But in the end, I just kept kind of, I don't know, pushing my way through, I guess, until it got completed. And it turns out all right. Some people, if I didn't tell them the story behind that, they just think it was great. But it was just trying to fix one problem after another until it actually got finished. So don't give up. Maybe this is for somebody. Maybe you start projects and you think, oh, I've made a mistake right off the start. I can't do anything right. I just can't craft. No, just keep going with that project and try to make it the best you can. You'll be surprised in the end, but it does actually come out looking nice. All right, we're going to get into this little project here. If I can set this aside. There's all kinds of stuff sitting down there. I think I'll work with this red. All right, I think that I'm going to start this a little bit different just so you can actually see. I don't know, should we bring the camera up a little closer to what I'm doing? Or can you see fine?
It's up to you.
I know that I need, well, we'll film, but if for some reason it's not showing it up close enough when I go to edit, we'll work in another one. Okay, this is really a lot of fun, and I could really fly doing this project, so I'm going to try to go a little bit slow. I know personally I have unsubscribed from a YouTube channel in the past because a lady worked so fast and she would put her videos in speed mode to where it annoyed me so much I couldn't even watch anymore. I mean, a good teacher will go slow, so I will actually slow this down and try my best to really let you grasp this. Now, this paper might be a little bit off. I'm not going to worry about that because it's close enough to even. Where others, oh my word, you really have to square up your paper or your bag is going to be so cockeyed at the end, you'll wonder what in the world you even created. And you did everything perfect, it's that the paper is off. But we're going to leave this alone. Okay, so I'm going to score this on 4 inches. Now you'll see right away that this only goes to a little over 12, so I will be moving this around. So like we were saying, 4 and 8 is 12, but then I'm going to allow 1/4 of an inch to take away from the front and back. So I would actually need to score this second line at 7 3/4. So I normally, when I have to slide this down, I'll work from number 2 and 3. So I'll just place the score line right lined up with 2, and I know 7 3/4 of an inch, well 7 3/4 inches, will be 9 3/4 inches. So I'll just score on that, then I'll just slide this down. I need to make another 4 inch score line. So 2 and 4 would be 6, score on 6. And then I'll repeat the same thing, which I need 7 3/4, so I'm on 2, and it will be 9 3/4, which will allow that 1/2 of an inch to glue together. So hopefully you can see these score lines, and all you're doing is staggering, meaning 4, then you're going to go 7 3/4, then 4 again, then 7 3/4, and then when you fold everything, it's going to come out to actually being the bag. Now, you don't have to do this, but I am going to score 1 inch down from the top. That way I can fold the top of the bag down. It's just going to give a finished look. And this is very easy if you have a Martha Stewart scoring board like this, to just keep sliding your paper down, pushing it up against the left edge. And after we do the top, coming down 1 inch, we're going to turn this upside down, and we're going to score 4 inches up from the bottom, and I'll explain why I'm actually doing that, which will make the base. Okay, why we scored 4 inches up from the bottom, that is because it matches the score line of the sides of the bags. So if the bag you're making is 2 inches wide, you'll want to come up 2 inches from the bottom. If it's 3 inches wide, you'll want to come up 3 inches from the bottom. Well, the sides of our bag is 4 inches, so we've come 4 inches up from the bottom. It's that easy. And I am going to work in one more score line, 2 inches up from where the 4 inches was. And that will be where the bag will actually crease and allows you to lay it flat. Okay, I'm going to go back in, and in between the sides of the bag, which is the 4 inches, I'm going to score right in the middle and just go down to where we had ended that last score mark, which would have been 6 inches up from the bottom. You don't have to actually score the very top, but I'm doing it just because it's easy on my part and no one's going to notice it. This is actually going to be, this is just going to be folded down. My word. And then one easy thing is when you line up the score lines, it's just easy to fold. And always try to line up the middle and then push out on each side. And something that you will want to do is you will want to make sure you fold the top and the bottom, especially the bottom, right now before you end up cutting with scissors on the score lines. The lighting in this craft room, I've got new lights to go in, ceiling lights, which will really help me. This is a step that you will want to do. You really won't want to cut and then take each little part and pull up and then try to be squaring off the bottom. It's just so much easier to do this. Now that we have this line, and well, actually, I think I missed a little step. I'm going to go right down. Now this you really don't have to do. I'm going to take this line right down to the bottom because I was not thinking about adding in like the little triangle shape. You don't have to, but we're going to. So I can actually make a bag without doing this, and I can just kind of mold the bag as I go trying to fold it, and it will put all these creases in, but it is easier if you actually put them in. You can see the bag right here, how it has this little crease up from the bottom and in towards the middle. I'm just going to go ahead and actually do that. Now, are you still getting me fine? So you don't really want to line the ruler up right against like corner to corner. You'll want to offset it just a little bit so when you score, it actually is corner to corner. Not really crucial. Like I said, you really don't have to do this, but it does make it easier. It just doesn't put so much of a stress on the paper. So I would advise you, if you've never done this before, maybe you would even like to make, now that was off a little bit because I can't quite see the edge, but that really doesn't matter. There it is. And that doesn't matter because you'll never see anything really, barely. I'm not actually scoring on the scoreboard. So this is really, it will help a little bit. But if you make a mistake like that, you're not going to see it. All right, so now we're going to take the scissors and we're just going to snip off from this part to this where you can see the score line. And then on this side, we're just going to take a little bit of this off. And then the only other piece we want to remove will be the bottom part of the 1/2 inch. We'll cut right up to this and snip that off, and then we're just going to follow the scored lines right up to that first line that we scored, the 4-inch one. Got to get better light in here. Alright, so we're going to make sure that you fold this down before you actually put your bag together, but we will want to actually go through and score, kind of crease all the scored lines, which if you line up the top of the bag, it will just help your lines to go better. It's not really necessary, but you can just kind of fold the opposite way where we scored in the middle, and then you can just put it together. So let me grab my glue quick. I'm just going to put this together with Aleene's glue. So this flap right here, I'm just going to I have to remember to put that down first. So that's something that I just corrected. Make sure you put your, the top, fold that down before you glue, or you're going to have a little bit of a mess on your hands, I would say. And you don't really want to take the glued side to the clean side. Try to always take the clean side to the glue. That will really help. And you're just simply going to line it up. It should, if your paper's pretty even, it's just going to actually fall together. If your paper's a little bit off, then you'll have to work at it just a little bit. So you can see, just line the top up. I'm going to hold this here just a second, but this glue normally sets up pretty quick. Okay. And then you can see that the top part is all together. Probably need a little bit longer for this to set. I'll make do. Okay, now this is one thing to remember. Where the bag went together, you'll want to have the bottom of the bag, when you actually glue it together, you'll want it to face the seam, to where when you turn this around, the front of the bag is nice and, well, the front of the bag is nice and clean, and also the front on the bottom. But if you can see this is just a square look. If you don't want that and you really want it to look like a store-bought bag, well, we can do a little trick that will get you to have your sides come out perfect. And you can just easily cut them. You can fold all of the little sides and the, whether it be the front or the back, right under, and just work one at a time. If you take a ruler and just push it right up against the edge right here, and then take the side and push it up against the outer edge, line it up, you can score, and then do the same thing. Give that a score. We'll do that with the other side. It's a lot better than eyeballing it and then having it not come out right. Okay, now I'll show you what I actually did. You might have to angle me over here. Good thing I've got a cameraman. Okay, so you can see the little score lines, and we're just going to follow those. You don't have to be exact. It's going to be way better than what you would have done on your own. It's fine if you go off to the right of it also. Well, I really can't see too good in here at nighttime. I'm so thankful to get better lighting. Okay, so let's find the back, which is right here. Again, I think I needed to let that set just a little bit longer, but it's okay. So, as I was saying, this is the seam, which would be the back of the bag. We'll want the last flap to actually head towards the back. So we're just simply gonna glue. This I do not have to be fussy on. So we know this flap goes down first, and that one will go towards the back of the bag. You can kind of look and square this up when you think you have it square. Just kind of push up a little bit from the bottom, a little, and then actually look at it again. Whoops. Because you can actually move this paper around a little bit. When you think you have it square, just set it down, and then you can put your hand in the bottom and just kind of push all that glue together. And that's good. So it looks actually like a store-bought bag. Well, right now it's kind of looking like a box. But we'll turn it into a bag real quick. Just going to make sure it sets up just a little bit. So you can see, you can kind of go pretty quick with these. You don't really have to wait too long on drying time. Okay, so I'm going to actually put the seam down on the table, and I'll work from the front of the bag. I'm just going to start pushing the sides in. I'll put my fingers right in where those creases are. And I'm just going to start letting this bag actually collapse. So right now, you're just molding this bag yourself. Keep working your way down. Now, I can literally do this without any score lines at all, especially with thin paper. You don't need to put score lines in. So you just collapse. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm going to turn it around so you can see what I'm looking at. Just start to push down once you get to that point. And there is a little tool that you can buy that will help you, really help you in the craft room. And it's a wallpaper roller, little wooden one. Make sure I've got that. Now this paper was a little bit off, so the bag in the end might be a little bit off, but it's not bad. You would not believe what you're buying in stores when you actually examine the bags you're buying. They are very off. And while I'm putting wax paper, I'll normally use like a piece of paper towel. Sometimes grease comes off of this and it will get on your project. Okay, so let's see. And before we pick this up, we're just going to aim the bag the opposite way and push down, and that's going to allow the crease on both sides. So let's see what it looks like in the end. Pretty tight to open. It looks good. And it looks like a bag. Okay, now I'm going to do a little trick to show you how to get the little holes in the top of the bag. This is the best ruler ever. I would really recommend. I think I bought this from Paper Wishes. If you haven't been receiving their magazine, their little catalog, I think they send, I don't know, 3 or 4 out a year. I'm thinking like each season. I believe I bought this from Paper Wishes. So you have your regular ruler, and then on the bottom in the middle it's 0, which goes out to 6 inches on each side. And what it does is it allows you to easily just find the same measurements on each side, and then you immediately find the middle. So it's really helpful. I'm going to get a little piercing tool here. So all these little lines up top help too. And I think I'll just go up to this line. So I've come in the same on each side. Not quite sure how far down. I'm actually gonna measure this one because the paper right here, you can see that the holes are right in the middle. So I've come down just 2, so I can easily find that again. And I just came down. I guess you do have to be a perfectionist on some things. Okay, I've got that even, that line's going across even, and it's in the same on each side. So at the 0 mark, I'm going to look for 1.5 to the right and 1.5 to the left. And that's my little mark. Now this tool is amazing. I actually have a couple of them. So this will offer the large punch and then the smaller one. So I'm going to put it at the large one. It also sets eyelets. So just simply find that little mark. And it's that easy and it's done. And then you have the holes done on each side just by 2 little punches. And then you can just simply run ribbon through. I think I did these around 13 inches and just tied the little knot. You can just test your own ribbon and the length of whatever you would like. It's really just easy. Just run your ribbon through, put a little knot, and then finish it on the other side. Whatever looks good to your eye, I would just recommend, because you're going to have all different size bags. So you're just going to have to find out what length handle you would like. And one thing you can do too is you can just use string, which this is a little tie that I made. I was going to show these. This is just a simple crochet thread. This is the best product. Just purchased at Walmart. You can buy it in the ivory, red, and blue is what I've purchased. I guess it's size 18, but it's amazing. So I just cut every 2 feet, put it together, and I've gone up 3/4 of an inch, I believe, or is it 1 3/4? No, it's 1 3/4. So from the knot to the end is 1 3/4 inch. And it just seems to always work out perfect on tags, which I'm going to actually grab one here. I love these, the little brown ones that look like leather. I feel like I have a little store set up. And if I'm going to use that, I'm going to go ahead and take the ivory. So you would just go in from the front. I have cream on my hands and they're slippery. You just feed that through. And that's how I was putting those on the bags that I made. But I'm going to show you how you can also make these just into handles if you'd like. Which is just that simple. Put that in the front and just tie a little knot. And there you go. So it's just so easy, but you can make any length that you would like. I think that when I had done a bag this way, I just went the opposite way. Where that was on one side, I wanted it to be on the other, just to look different. I guess I like things a little not so matchy-matchy. Might as well finish it. There you go. So it could be that simple. You will get a ton of use out of this. You will just love it. And it's very, very inexpensive. I think it was only around $3 if I can remember, $3 or $4 at the most. So, all right, now I'm going to be back because I showed different little bags. And I actually had one setting on the table to actually put together for you. And I'm going to show you how I make just kind of like a makeshift cutting station. Get the camera moving. Just a makeshift cutting station for this wallpaper because it's so large. The guillotine cutter, however you say it, guillotine cutter that I have 2 of them, and the wallpaper is just too large, so I can't cut it. So by making my own little makeshift station, you'd probably see that and think, well, I can do that too. It's going to help you. So I'm going to be right back. Okay, well, I'm going to end up using the little tag that we just made right on this gift bag. And this will be the background paper that I've chosen to use. And the little border piece. So this would be able to be cut, I believe. Well, I don't know. Let me grab it right here a second. This is kind of a little tiny piece of wallpaper. I was going to say I don't know if I could. No, I still can't. So this really is just like 12.5 inches. I don't know if I can purchase a bigger guillotine cutter or not, but so it's not working. Now what I'm going to show you, if you're a quilter, you are all set. You can do this little trick. So this is a 2-foot ruler, and I'm just going to set this right in the middle. I guess I'll just set it right here. I do kind of just offset it on a white line, and I just bring it right up to it. So all this is a makeshift cutting station. If I can find where the masking tape ends. So we're actually just gonna go ahead and tape this down. Try to get it somewhat even. And this is just going to hold it in place. Sometimes you do end up lifting up on this. I do from this side. I'll go that type of thing, but then put it back down, and it just easily finds its way back. Now, I will tell you, this is going to spoil you on cutting paper. Even smaller paper, you might end up finding that you like this. And also, when your paper trimmer, the blade gets dull, these rotary cutters are amazing. So I think this came from Joann Fabrics, and I picked up a couple. So if you're a quilter, you might want to keep one for fabric, cloth, and then one for paper. So we're just going to simply lift this up, and it's so easy and effortless. I love effortless solutions.
You basically just made your own size paper trimmer.
Right, and a gigantic one. So what the guillotine cutter Martha Stewart, the full size, wouldn't even accept. I mean, look at all the room we have. And what this does is, I know quilters probably don't do this. It just holds it down if you use masking tape. It's not going all over the place. And if you want to take it one step further, if you're a little nervous that your paper is going to shift on you, take washi tape and just add it right here. And as you cut, just so this doesn't move, you can just kind of place your hand and follow the rotary cutter. So I'm holding right there. Then I'm going to place my hand up a little further until I'm done. But you can see it didn't move because we actually had this taped down. So now that you've seen that, I am going to measure the bag, which is just shy of 8 inches by 10. So, I don't know, I think I'll go 9.5 high by, I don't know, 7.5. 9.5 by 7.5, I think will be fine. So I can actually count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches, 6, 7, and you could just eyeball the half because you can actually do that. This cutting paper down to a bag, it isn't crucial. And that looks pretty even. That I'm going to go 9.5. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5. Now, some paper you'll want to square up, and it's just easy. Cut one side, move it all around to the left, cut that, move it to the left, cut to the left, until you have all 4 sides even. This was pretty even. I can tell by looking at it that I didn't have to square it up any. So that would be the background. I can see that, and I knew that the sides were going to be a little more narrow, showing the bag, than the top and the bottom. So if that bothers you, you could always take the sides in a little bit more. I kind of like it. So I'm not fussy when it comes to something like that. I guess that's what kind of makes it unique. So I'm going to be using this image right here. I kind of like the way the tree is, and I don't really want to get rid of that. So I'm just going to square up the side. And what I'm doing is I'm going just up to the white line, and I know that I'm even. So this ruler has stayed exactly where it should be. I'm not going to tape. I'm just going to press down and it should be fine. So this is where you're just doing custom work. It should be fine to go right to the right of that deer. So I'm really not gonna measure with a ruler. This just needs to kind of be eyeballed, I guess you'd say. And that's good. I wanted to show a little bit of the paper. Now you could go ahead and add a piece in the back. I'm not gonna for this, but I am. I'm gonna do that little strip technique just so I can show you what that's like. So this is very easy to get little pieces of paper. And this can be, you could do one a little wider, one a little narrow. Maybe I'll do that just to show you what that would look like. So I'll take this one a little bit wider. And then I'll do one just a little bit narrow. Alright, so you've seen how easy that is. So even if you don't have a paper trimmer and you're a quilter, you're all set. You do have one. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so I'm going to take this away and then I'll kind of get the table set up and I'll be right back. Okay, well I'm back and I've got a little grid mat here to work off of. And I just wanted to comment, you can see that this is just a relaxed craft. You don't have to be exact on anything. It doesn't really matter what size wallpaper you would use for the background. It doesn't matter what size you would choose for your image. It's all up to you. Whatever looks pleasing to your eye. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just apply the adhesive on the back. And that's the little, kind of like a little box I have made. I'm going to use double-sided adhesive that I would have purchased from Scrapbooking Made Simple in Santa Clarita, California. I love this. Now, she would have taken what would have been a brand known to everybody, and she made it just a little bit better. You can actually use an embossing gun, I believe, a heat gun on this. Like, you can apply glitter and everything. So it's really, really a good tape, and I'm telling you, this is sticky. When this lays down, it's going down. Oh, I've got my little scissors over there, so I'm just going to have to use these bigger ones, but it's okay. I'm staying a little bit away from the edge. Just going to work my way around. This will just allow the piece of wallpaper to lay down good on the bag, and you won't have the edges coming up. doesn't matter how you, I normally put tape on the middle. It doesn't matter if you go down the middle or each side. I'm just going to go side to side a little bit. So that's done, and we won't pay attention to the way the paper actually was. If we want to place it this way, we can actually make what it would have been upside down. So this is the little image. I'll just go ahead and add the adhesive to that. A lot of people, I've seen people in the UK use like a credit card type tool, and they'll rip their tape off that way. I'm just a little too fussy. I don't mind reaching for scissors and cutting. They'll also put their hand through something this size, but I've never felt comfortable doing that, so I don't do that either. Just do what feels comfortable to you, and then you won't be aggravated trying to copy somebody else. Alright, so that's done. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick that I do. Kind of gets heavy after a while. You get a really good workout, especially when you're making over 30 bags. But, you know, because I'm actually lifting heavy books, I found out that if I can find books that are the size of the bag, it makes it so easy to apply the paper. So I'm using a little base cutting plate for the Spellbinders machine that I found that's a perfect fit. And then you can just work off of that like a table. It's so easy. I even do it on the smaller gift bags. I've just gone to the bookcase and found books that just fit perfectly. But for this certain design, I'm not actually going to adhere these to the bag just yet. I'm going to actually go ahead and now, let me see, I'm going to try to do this for what a beginner would like. So I'm going to get that liner back on, and I suppose I'll just work. I have to I'm going to try to really focus on people that have not crafted and show you little tricks to where it's just going to make things so easy. So I'm just going to go ahead and tape this on the corner so it won't move. It's nothing any worse trying to get everything perfect and then having something go down crooked. So let's see. We're just gonna, again, I'm gonna just really focus on a beginner watching. So I'm gonna line up the top and the bottom, and I'm gonna just look at each side. So I'm looking on the right and the left, the top and the bottom, and I'm just gonna see what looks pleasant to the eye. Putting gift bags together, oh my word, it's just so easy. So I'm gonna actually just tape the bottom into place right here. This will help you that when you peel this back, peel the liner, there, it's stuck. So you can do the same method for card making, because it is so annoying and discouraging to have all of your work cut and everything looks beautiful and accidentally it goes down crooked. And then you feel like your whole project's been ruined. So just by getting that top piece in place, this is just all going to fall in place. Just work down from the middle out, and there, effortless. Okay, so I'm going to take this off, and we'll do the same thing when it actually comes to applying this on the bag. We'll just do the same method. So I'm just going to move this over and place this right in the middle of like the lines here. Just place the corner in anywhere. It doesn't matter where you're working. If you want it here, I mean, whatever feels good to you. I guess to me, I'm just going to place it right here. And I'm going to go in with the washi tape, which will really help you. I'll go down here a little bit. All right, I do need a little bit of tape on this. Don't know if this is the right size. I think it's a little too wide, so I'm going to go to a little skinny tape, which is just 1/4 of an inch. You shouldn't need any more than that. And peel that off. I will try to get right up to the edge. Tell you, this is so much fun to do these bags. So I'm working with like an oversized piece of paper. I would not need this much. So this one isn't taped yet, but I'm just going to kind of eyeball this and see where I think it would look good. Let's see. I think that looks good. So we're right here. So this is your thick line. So I'm going to come down 3. So at your bold line, this would be the corner. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's how easy that is. I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm going to get some tape on this one. So you never have to actually be off. Feel all jittery. Maybe I drank too much coffee. You can see I went off a little bit with this. So if you go off, just take this and fold this in. I don't know if you can see that or not. I went off a little bit with the tape. It is so dark in this craft room at nighttime. I've got the best lights going in on the ceiling. I'll have 3 light bulbs in each light. I have actually 2 of them. And I can angle them wherever I want, and they're going to be on a dimmer switch. So I'm thinking right under that bold line. I think that looks good. It's looking a little funny because I've got black and then that wood color. So we're just going to lift up on this and we'll turn it over and just cut on the top. As everything sticks together. And that's how easy it is. Effortless. So how fun is that? And we didn't struggle. And it's perfect. Now it is cute to see something a little bit wider and one a little bit narrow. So we're just gonna go ahead now and get this on the bag, which I'm going to do the same method. We're just going to guarantee that this is going to be perfect in the end. Nothing's going to, I'm telling you, when this tape, now, this is kind of funny because I'm going to face it towards the camera. Sometimes these bags are off. The bags that you make are going to be much straighter than the ones you buy. I've actually had to take the bottom of bags apart before to fix it, because I would look at the top, I look at the sides, and then the bottom would be so far off. But that's kind of the fun of it in itself. You don't have to be so fussy. Just try to make it work. Nobody is even going to look in the end. It's not like a greeting card. You don't have to be very fussy with a gift bag. They're just looking at the image. Now I can see that that is a little off, but we're going to go with it. And again, this is going to help you get it to just the best that you can actually see. Oh wow. I guess it wasn't quite sticky, was it? There. We'll do that same method by taking the top piece off. And then once we remove this, then we can go ahead and just take all of the adhesive liner off. I think this is the hardest struggle for people to think of, how do I assemble something? How do I glue? Well, it's pretty easy if you take little steps like this. Again, remember to push down in the middle and out to the sides, and it will just lay down perfectly. And you're going to notice it does look pretty even. This side is a little shifted this way than this. It does not matter. It's even. That's all you need to worry about. Nobody is even going to notice, and especially this just blends right in. But you don't have to get everything just exact. I could have actually pushed this over this way a little bit more. People aren't going to notice. If your lines are even, you really don't have to be matchy-matchy. Okay, so, whoop, my little necklace. Try to always stand the bag up before you take your, I guess what I should say is kind of grab a hold of the bag like that. When you've got heavy books in, don't pull by the handles, because it is a lot of weight. So I'm just going to take that little tag. Well, this is going to be cute. That just matches perfectly. And I am fussy when it comes to the tags. Let me do that a little bit slow, because this might be what would actually appeal to somebody, like, how did you do that? Just make sure that it just wraps around like this, and keep the strings somewhat even to where they're not twisting. Just slowly go up, and then pull down and up at the same time. And I just always take my, now that's still not, this is not cooperating. Maybe it's the angle that I'm at to film. Okay, so this is straight. I am just going to lift this up. Okay, it probably wasn't looking. There we go. And then just pull, and you'll see that it's laying flat. And I always just put that down like that. And your little bag is done. And it's so cute. And you made it yourself. So, I mean, it's really encouraging to try to see if you can get some of those wallpaper books. Oh my word, the images that are in them, it's just beautiful. So I will continue to do little DIYs, and I actually have another one that I need to film because I have quite a bit setting on the dining room table. So I will be back at some point, hopefully right off, with another little video to share. Well, I'm popping back real quick just to show you what it looks like to actually view 13 gift bags. I've had a ton of fun designing these, and also I have fixed my necklace. We got noticing that the previous videos, it flipped around backwards, so I'm kind of trying to put myself back together, but it made me think, this is nothing. Just wait until you see me in upcoming videos. I'm going to have ink all over my hands and paint. I mean, hard to tell what I'm going to look like in the end. Okay, so I'll be running this giveaway for 1 week to where you can comment for 1 week after the video is uploaded. And I'll make a little note. I'll probably pin a little comment up towards the top and just remind everybody. But just head on over to my Instagram page and you'll be able to view all of the little bags and jot down which ones you like. It's going to give you ideas just if you create your own. That will be helpful. Okay, well, I thank you for watching. I hope I've inspired you to make some gift bags. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Today's video is sponsored by Wicked Earth Charm and Necklace Company, where their jewelry is wicked awesome and charmingly earthy.
Or are you sponsoring them, huh?
Or are we sponsoring each other?
I don't know! It's hard to keep up!
It's amazing! Who cares?